I didn't take a single trade last week, and that's great progress from the last few months where I definitely overtrade, forced setup, average ones, and sometimes bad ones. I was trading to do many things at once, and trading didn't have really its place. So I'm really happy about a week like this where the market didn't show me anything. I was quite busy with my personal life as well outside of trading. Times that I was at the chart didn't show me any good setups, didn't show me my edge. And the high time frame anyway was kind of rough and I didn't know where we were. So there's all the times where you need to step back and having a whole week not trading is actually trading and it is a good thing. So this one's going to be a quick video, but I want to go over why I didn't trade, the setups I ignored, and why I think it's part of my recovery process, if you want to call it that way, where I try to have that rhythm I had at the end of last year. We're already Thursday of this week right now, but this is the video of the previous week. I was traveling to Western Australia and didn't have time over the weekend to do that video recap of the week. Look at a glance like this. What you can see straight away is small price action above the EMAs. You don't really have clear levels up, information, and levels down. There's way better weeks with way better levels to trade. Ranging price action, very tight. Didn't go anywhere. Maybe the end of the week a little bit more, but all this like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, very tight range. As in, this is a big range, but tight range candle wise, like don't have big clean movements. Sometimes, and this is why I like to trade the 2 minute or the 5 minute within the session, is you might have a trade here, then just catch this move. And if the high time frame is unclear, like it was for me this week, no structure here at all on the 4 hour, and here on Bitcoin very tricky as well. So let's go back through the week. Little reminder of the way I trade and the indicators I have there from TTC from Annie. I don't trade the whole method anymore, but the core idea behind it is still the same. There's just a few details I trade differently now, but there's gray shaded areas at the back or your session time. So this is Asia, London or UK, and US. This red line here and dotted line is my previous week high and 50% here. So in red is my previous week range. In green is my Asia range. So my Asia range here transferred to UK and US. And in yellow, which is not marked here, like here in yellow, will be my previous daily range. Usually on Monday, sometimes I mark the Sunday range, sometimes not. And on the Tuesday, I've got the indicator that marks me just my Monday's range. So that's why those are not marked. Anyway, Monday didn't give me anything crazy to trade. I was still at work actually. This is why I did not take this trade on Tuesday. Here we were retesting actually on Bitcoin this order block that got broken through and retested. So there's a bias for being bullish. And as well, we had all these bank holidays as the start of the week. And I do like bank holidays in Asia. I really do pay attention to them because usually you get a trend move. And this is what you had here. This is what you had here as well. So bank holidays in Asia, I try to pay attention. The only thing is Asia on my working days, I can't trade. I can trade the UK and that's it. And so yeah, like the only one setup, because I go back through my week and I always look at what was viable, what did I like, were there anything for me to trade, and try to learn from the price action and where did my edge present. And I would say because we were still not retesting this area on ETH, but we were on Bitcoin on Tuesday morning in Asia. And if I zoom down to the lower time frame, you had a clear take of liquidity in the gap here, and this supply that created that breakout to the downside. You have that demand that just got retested, breaks through, and retest here at Asia Open. On the 5 minute, the entry was a bit better because you had this hammer here. It was quite a good entry. If you didn't enter here, so on this candle, the next one was an inverted hammer. I do like this when you get an inverted hammer where you think price is going to go. Either you enter on this inverted hammer because it's a trap and you're probably going to get the best entry like this one did, or you wait for the candle that recovers the whole week of that hammer, and that's sort of your confirmation. But had a bit of a drawdown here, but nothing crazy. Still a good trade. So that's for Tuesday. When I was in UK, nothing crazy happened, so no trade for me here to take. I want to go back through Monday actually in UK because I was looking at this session after work. This is a good example of why you do not trade just the single peak of a W. And here you could think you had your level 1 in Asia, you get a retrace into 50% Asia, start of UK, you get your double session W. And here on Bitcoin, you're actually retesting the high of previous week. So you could turn bullish, but unless you've got price action structure in here that confirms that move, it is just too much of a risky entry. You want to have that move with intent, so with volume, creating fair value gap or displacement, however you want to call it, and then have this retrace into the demand that created that displacement or into the fair value gap. But I don't trade fair value gap, I trade supply and demand because these are the ones that work. And unless you get that retest here to higher, that's your confirmation. There's zero confirmation on entering just of that second peak W here. And then, yeah, proof is there. You would have been wrecked if you entered off that. Wednesday, not keen to get involved into this range here that we had on Bitcoin. Similar here on Ethereum. Nowhere to enter here. Not really a breaker because you have all this range here, and we actually didn't take, did we? Probably didn't take those lows. We were holding it here, but no way in my book that you could have taken that trade here. Clearly nothing for me in here to take a trade. Had nothing on my Thursday that was viable, and I was actually way too busy sorting out stuff in Western Australia. And same for Friday, just nothing clean in here, nothing beautiful. Friday is a day you want to stay out as well. It was this W in from Asia to London, but like I said, you don't wanna just enter of a W like this of the second peak and don't have confirmation. Didn't really have any confirmation. A good, like tap the 200, retest the 50 and 50% Asia into a key area. I would have been keen to go long, but it did not happen, so I didn't trade anything. And that was it for my week. So yeah, the key point here of this week, and what I actually wanted to say, there's nothing much I can show. There's a lot of people who are going to tell you this happened, and their model caught the move. This is hindsight. I'm honest into my hindsight throughout the week. Nothing presented. I was actually really busy as well. But it was weeks like this where nothing's going to present and you're going to have to be able to just not trade. And if you're busy in your personal life as well on the side, it's going to make it the trading way more difficult. You want to be 100% focused on what you do. So not trade is trading, and it's going to be plenty of weeks like this. You have to be able to refrain yourself from taking trades. And I'm glad that I'm back to that mindset of being able to do it. And if it was in my early years, like my first, second year, there's plenty of time where I would have forced to trade and not being able to sit on my hands. So kudos to me on this one. And that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.